Well, hello and welcome to the Intuitive Messenger channel. My name is Mitchell Osborne, and this is yet another intuitive interview series with nobody other than Scott Martin. And I want to say thank you for being here with me tonight. I truly, truly appreciate it. So tell us who you are.
Who am I? Well, I'm kind of a work in progress, and I sort of figure it out every day. But in terms of who I've been and what brought me here, I taught dramatic arts in public high schools in New York City for 38 years.
Wow.
After I started mentoring graduate student teachers of theater and beginning teachers. And my heart is always with children, so I've done lots of volunteer work with disadvantaged children, children in orphanages, and grieving children. And whenever I can find a way to work with children, that's where I go.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm glad somebody's working with them.
Right.
I'm not. I'm glad somebody works with them. You do. You may appreciate this because I always said, because that's something that we have in common. My degree's in theater. I did not teach like you did, but I had an improv theater for 10 years. And I remember teaching the 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. And I said, that's the age I love. I love when they hate the world. And I don't know what it was about that, but when they hate everybody in the world, I like them. So that's the age I liked.
Right. Well, they're very challenging at that age. But I worked with high school kids, so they're a little bit more mature. Not a whole lot.
So I recently got to present on the main stage at Reader Studio, and this is my 4th year being there. How many years have you gone to the Reader Studio or been a part of it up there in New York?
I guess like 7 or 8 years. I've skipped a year here and there, but I'm on the staff now. I sort of in charge of the lounge and throw pillows around and blow up couches and chairs and make it pretty so people can go hang out. And I really do it, well, partly because I want to make a contribution to Reader Studio, but also because I don't like to sit in my seat all day long. And I want to be able to get up and pass stuff around and go out and get coffee and get water. So, my attention span can be brief at times. I was riveted to your presentation. I didn't get up during yours.
Well, thank you.
You did a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I tell you, that's a highlight of my life because, when you plan for almost 15 months to do something and then you finally do it and it actually, I'm pretty sure it was successful. I felt good about it. So I was like, wow, that was pretty powerful. But I happened to pick up this while I was at Reader Studio, and this is your book. This is Bringing the Tarot to Life, and I tell you, I'm on page 57. So I've worked my way through several of the exercises, and I'm going to let you tell it, but because it seemed to be like a book of, and I tell you, I love chunk down things, so I love the fact that I can pick this up and spend 5 minutes and read like one exercise and then put it down and then pick it up. So tell me a little bit more about how this book came into being and what's actually in there, because it is very, very, very unique, and I absolutely love it. I told you beforehand, I know I'll be teaching some stuff from it.
Well, a little backstory about how I even came to tarot, because as a kid, I was always intuitive. I had these flashes of intuition and psychic experiences. I would watch TV and these game shows, and I would know the numbers they were going to call before I can't do it with the lottery, but I would know the numbers they were going to call. So when I retired from teaching, I wanted to find a medium that would help me access that intuitive ability that is in me, not of me, but through me. And so I started studying tarot at the tarot school with the Amberstones. And I studied tarot and astrology and Kabbalah and the Golden Dawn and the esoteric titles and the tarot and psychology. And my left brain got so stuffed full of information that I knew a little about a lot of stuff that my right brain completely shut down.
Wow.
I mean, all that creative, intuitive energy that I had, it was shut down because I put together this thing and people said, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's something I put together. These are all of my notes about what did these cards mean? And
Wow.
so someone said, well, you ought to write a book. I mean, these are just all your notes. And so Sasha Graham, actually, she was a great inspiration to me in a number of ways. She began by saying, you need to charge for your readings because you really read well. I said, no, I really can't. I can't attach money to it. And she said, yes, you really need to. And after class one day, she said, we're going to go to Starbucks and I'm going to be your first paid client.
Oh, I love it.
I said, well, all right. So we went to Starbucks upstairs and I read for her and she found it helpful and got into some pretty heavy issues with it. And so from that point on, I began to charge for readings, which I do reluctantly, I told you before. But and then at another point, she said, you need to write a book. I said, Sasha, I don't have anything to say that hasn't already been said and better than I can say it. And there's so many books on tarot. Said, no, you put together what you love, which is tarot, combined with something else you love, which is theater, and that's your book. I thought, oh, tarot, theater, tarot. So I started thinking, well, tarot, the deck of cards are really characters in a play in a way. They all have their life, their story, their backstory. The tarot has characters and it has plots and it has themes and it has costumes and it has props and it has all the things that theater has. So why not approach the tarot the way an actor approaches developing a character in a play and the way he hones his craft as an actor? So that's what inspired the book. The first part of the book is actor journaling. Right, and then the second half are theater games, which are done with groups. And so I had my little thumb drive with my little on it. And a year ago, not this past Reader Studio, but the one before that, and I had my little thumb drive, and I saw Barbara Moore from Llewellyn Worldwide Publications, yep. And I said, Barbara, I think I've written a book. I wonder if you'd be interested. And so, what's it about? And I told her, and she said, well, it sounds like a good idea. I hope it's well written. And I thought, oh, God, now it's probably not well written. So she took my little thumb drive back to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I never expected to hear from her again. And she wrote me and said, they love your book at Llewellyn. We want to do it.
Wow.
I was shocked because I never thought I'd be an author. I mean, never, ever. I always admired people and respected people who had a book. And I used to say, well, I know who that person is, or I know Paul Clifford, or I know Mary Greer, or I know Rachel Pollack. And but I never thought anyone would say, well, I know Scott Martin. But anyway, I think that we sometimes don't believe in ourselves. And sometimes as much as we should, and sometimes it takes somebody else believing in us the way Sasha did believe in me. Yeah. And I came across something. I thought it was sort of serendipitous of what we're talking about. I'd just like to share it with you and read it. It's very
Please
brief.
Do.
It's by Marianne Williamson. She is a spiritual teacher and author and lecturer. And she said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that meant a lot to me because I know there are people in tarot community who say, I really have an idea for a book. Or they say, I really want to design a deck. And I don't think everyone needs to write a book or design a deck or teach a class or or they don't have to do any of that. But the people who do want to do it, and they have it in their gut and their heart to do it, they just need a little nudge. So I'm nudging those people out there who think, well, I will write a book, or I do have an idea, or I'm going to try it, or I'm going to start designing a deck, or I'm going to do one card. Because that's sometimes it's all it takes. It just gets the ball rolling. And I am so excited writing my book. I mean, this is my bed over here. I would lie in my bed at night and I would have this idea for another exercise.
Wow.
Oh, I'll do it in the morning. Oh, no, you got to do it right now. So I'd hop out of bed and I'd get on the computer and I'd write the exercise. And actually, the writing of the book was more exciting than even the publishing of the book, because the energy is in the creativity. It's in making something new happen. So I was so electric for a year where I was just writing and editing. And I had a wonderful relationship with Llewellyn. I know Donnelly De La Rosa just said today on Facebook what a great relationship she had with U.S. Games and writing her book. And I had a similar experience, and she and I have talked about that. So, I'm eager to. Now I've thought of more exercises. I wrote the editor. I said, if it goes into a reprint, can I squeeze a couple more exercises in? They said, yeah, just write. If it goes into a reprint, we can definitely get it in there if it doesn't change the page numbers and all that stuff.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't say no. Let's have another book, part two.
Well, I'll tell you, I know that you asked Michael, where do you go from here?
Yes, what's next?
What's next? And I was with the Reader's Studio, and I never met Liz Dean. I mean, I'm sure you know who she is, and a lot of people out there know who she is. She's from England, and she's written many books on tarot and decks and all the rest, and is psychic. And she came up to me and said, well, congratulations on your book. And I said, well, thank you very much. And she said, is this your first book? And I said, yes, I think I'm a one-trick pony. I don't expect to write another one. And then she gave me that really psychic, intuitive sort of looking through me. And she said, you're going to write another book.
Wow.
And I said, really? And she said, you're going to write another book. And I see it getting started around October.
Wow.
That got the wheels spinning. I don't know what I could possibly write about. I don't know what else there is to say, but I didn't know that I had anything to say when I wrote this book. So I don't know. Maybe it'll happen.
I love it. Well, so Scott, tell us where's the best place for someone to find this book? Is there a website of yours or just Amazon, or what's the best place?
Well, it's on Amazon. As a matter of fact, Doug Reichel, or do you know him?
Yep.
Yeah, he posted something on Facebook yesterday and took a picture of my book where he saw it in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, cool.
In a bookstore. So I know it's in bookstores. People have bought it at Barnes & Noble, they've told me. But I guess Amazon is the most reliable place. And it's also, you can get it as an ebook as well as
good.
And I can also, go ahead.
So they can get it ebook, so they can get it literally instant access. That's good.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, it is Bringing the Tarot to Life, Scott Martin. You can get it ebook, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. And there is another book coming. You heard it here. Liz Dean predicted it. So I tell you, it has been a pleasure doing this interview with you. I didn't know if you had any final words or thoughts. If you don't, that's all right. But I appreciate you reading that Marianne Williamson. That it's not really a poem; it's just an excerpt. And it's funny because I believe it was Nelson Mandela who got a lot of credit for that, because he read it one time, and people didn't realize it came from her books, A Return to Love. But it is such a beautiful statement, because I know, are you a Pisces? I'm a Pisces, and I know a lot of Pisces. We tend to
with my moon in Pisces.
Okay. Because we do tend to shrink a little bit so we don't, upset someone else. So a lot of times we do hide our light. We put what is it? What's the old Christian thing? Don't hide it under a bushel, let it shine. And I remember thinking, that's it. We've got to let it shine. So thank you for reminding me that tonight. So
you knew her. She was all new to me, and I don't even know where I came across it. It just seemed like I was supposed to get this message.
Oh.
Oh, I know who it was. It was a friend of mine on Facebook posted it actually, and I can always count on her for words of wisdom and passing things on. So,
Yeah, beautiful. Well, sir, I truly, truly appreciate this time we had together. And do you have a website or anything you want to promote?
I really don't have a website. The way to I'm telling you, I wrote this book and I went about my business doing other things, and I'm doing tarot meetups around the area where people have invited me. I know I can be contacted through Llewellyn Worldwide. You can find me on Facebook. I don't have a separate Facebook page for the book, but Scott Martin on Facebook. And usually I friend people if I see that they're mutual friends, and I figure, well, they all must be tarot people. If I don't know who they are, they're connected to tarot people, and they're all good people, so I
Yeah.
always accept their friendship. All right.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to say it publicly. If you end up in Central Florida, let me know ahead of time, and we'll try to get a special meetup for you. And you bring several copies of your book, and you come lead some exercises. How about that?
Okay, and I'm there about once a year.
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
visiting friends in a suburb of Orlando once a year.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
As I said before, if anybody is your viewers were bored with this interview, I hope they look for their sign on my shirt.
I know. I love it. I love it. I found my Pisces sign.
Right.
So, well, Scott, thank you. Thank you again, everybody watching. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
check out Bringing the Tarot to Life by Scott Martin. We will talk to you guys next time. Have a good night, day, whenever you're watching this.